Hi guys, so let's now take a look at completing the statement of financial income. So there's a chance in your exam that you may need to put together your statement of financial income, and they may give you information as presented like so here. Now I've tried again to keep this relatively straightforward. In your exam they're likely to use some trickier numbers, so that you've actually got to use your calculator in ensuring that you complete this accurately. They'll also put in a couple of distractors, things that don't go on this statement of financial income, just to really test the depth of your understanding and how well you actually understand these principles. Now, in contrast, what I've put down here is everything that really goes into producing your statement of financial income. Okay, now as such, you don't need to worry about just putting a line through any that wouldn't need to go in there, as you will if it comes up in your exam. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so let's see what we've got. First up, well, we've got sales revenue to put down. Now, I'm going to complete the entirety of this statement of financial income on this right-hand side here. In our last lesson, we looked at a very, very simple example. This is going to be a little bit more sophisticated, so really, dialing it up, really. Okay, so firstly, we can see that we've got cash sales. And as we come down, well, we need to make sure that we've got everything taken care of here. We can also see we've got another area of sales, which is sales on credit. Okay, so we've actually got two sources of revenue. So as such, we can highlight that and we can say, well, we're going to hang off 39,900 in terms of the income. So all I've done is use this figure and this figure there. Okay, so I've added those two together. Okay, so next up we've got cost of sales. Now remember, we did discuss the actual calculation of this, the cost of sales, and that's really important that you understand this. So the cost of sales is calculated by first taking your opening inventories, so whatever inventories or stock that you actually had at the start of the year, adding that together with the purchases, but then subtracting this closing inventories. Okay, so opening inventories plus the purchases is 11,000 minus the closing inventories. Well, that takes it down to 9,600. Okay, so 9,600. Now, based on that, we can then work out what our gross profit is likely to be, and we can highlight that now by just working through those numbers, and so we can see it's going to be 30,300. Okay, right, nice and simple, I hope. So let's now move it on and see what we need to consider. So we can put a line through these ones. We know we've factored those areas in. Okay, they're all taken care of. So next up, we can see one of our expenses is rent. Okay, so we've got rent, and how much the rent? Well, that's 4,600. So we've got 4,600. We've got wages, which is 7,000. Okay, so we can certainly include those wages there, 7,000 on the wages. Okay, depreciation of £400. Okay, so depreciation. What is depreciation? Well, depreciation is simply the writing off of the value of an asset. Okay, so we know that assets depreciate over time. Take, for instance, a car as a prime example of this. When you first drive that car off the forecourt, it will lose a lot of value. That's depreciation. But moreover, it will further depreciate as that asset is used and as it becomes older and older. Okay, so there's various factors that can contribute to that depreciation, and the amount the product is used, the asset is used, of course, will generate more wear and tear. And then finally, we've got utilities, which is £350. Okay, so £350. So these are now, we looked at our direct costs here in our cost of sales, okay, and that was opening inventories, purchases, closing inventories. Well, these, as you'll remember, are the indirect costs of running the business, okay, otherwise known as expenses. Okay, so these are our expenses. Okay, now we need to total up our expenses just to really understand exactly where the business is. Okay, so we can see we've got 11,600, 12,000, 12,350. Okay, so that comes to a total of 12,350. I can work out the profit or loss for the year. So as we actually put these figures through, we can see we've got gross profit of 30,300. Then we just need to deduct those total expenses, which of course come to 12,350, and in so doing we end up with 17,950. All right, great stuff guys, thanks ever so much for joining me. See you next time.